Hello and welcome to episode 145 of Daryl Show Your Work. All right, so this will be the last video in my set of videos showing how to manually enumerate details once you've exploited a Linux-based host. All right, and in this specific video, I'm going to be going over how to enumerate processes and cron jobs, and then I'll be moving on in my next video. It's showing how we can take everything that I've shown in each set of um, post exploitation enumeration videos of a Linux-based host, and how we could then automate gaining all those details by using a script. But again, in this video, I'm gonna just be going over how to enumerate the details of processes and cron jobs on that compromised Linux host. All right, so before jumping into that, since I am doing some red teaming and offensive security related tasks, I'm going to preface this video with my usual disclaimer saying that this is for ethical research and educational purposes only. Any sort of malicious activity that may directly or indirectly come from someone watching this video, I do not take responsibility for, nor do I condone. Okay, so some things that I'm going to be looking for is pretty straightforward, and those are processes which are running executable programs, and also I'm going to be looking for cron jobs, which are the scheduled tasks that can execute commands, binaries, Bash or Python scripts at specified times or intervals. All right, so and all of this again, these are different vectors that I can use to escalate my privileges or to open up even more back doors to the system in order to maintain some level of persistence. So some pre-taping activities that I've done here. I've already done some discovery, excuse me, and found our target host's IP address, which is at 192.132.217.3. I've also exploited the vsftpd 2.3.4 vulnerability via backdoor, and got a Meterpreter session going, so that way I could just jump right into post exploitation and not have to focus so much on the exploitation in itself. All right, so the first thing we could do here, now that I got a Meterpreter session, just showing a few Meterpreter commands that can be used in order to do some enumeration on our target. And let's move this over here. All right. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to see the process tree. So the process tree is going to show me those processes that are running, and I've shown this in my previous video as well. So we can see that we have shell, we have some shells running, we have of course vsftpd running, since that's the attack vector that I exploited. All right, and we have something down here called vcitc. All right, now it looks like it's running from the temp folder, but it's been deleted. All right. Some other things I could do here. Let's say I want to view the process ID of a specific process. So let's say I wanted to just narrow down and see what the process ID is of, let's say, FTPD. All right. So, and I've previously shown this, but again, I want to take a more holistic approach here and just make sure I include everything, so there's no confusion on what you can or cannot do when enumerating certain details. All right, so we can see, since there's two instances of vsftpd, we can see that it gives me two process IDs of 7, which we can see up here, and then 16, which we can see up here, and it matches what Meterpreter is giving us back when I'm doing that pgrep command. All right, so now these other commands I'm going to run, I'm actually going to be using the Linux command line to do so. So I'm going to have to execute the shell in order to get on the command line. And in order to be able to better see what I'm doing, I'm going to start a bash session. So I'm going to say bin bash dash I, and that's going to start up the bash session for me. All right, so now that I have the bash session going, just want to show I could do that same ps command. It's going to show me the process tree. Well, that's funny. It said it didn't work. Let's see. So it doesn't appear it may not be installed here on this virtual machine. See, let's try some other things here. Let's try top. No, that's not working either. So what top does, that's basically that would have allowed me to view the processes as they're being executed and the resources that are being consumed. All right. Well, shoot, let's see if crontab works. Nope, that doesn't work either. All right, so I tell you what I'm going to have to do, I know that it's probably not going to work here on this machine. So what I can do is I can back all the way back out to my local directory, and I know they should be able to work there because I'm pretty sure that my virtual machine is running the process tree and the cron tab. So let's back all the way out. So I'm going to say Ctrl C to shut down that channel, and let's see. Let's background. Meterpreter here. All right. So let's see now that I'm back here in the MSF console. Let's try to run PS again. And this is again, this is not interacting with the target host, but this is interacting with my own local machine here. So since I couldn't run these commands on the target host, I'm gonna just still. The idea is I still want to show what these commands do. So hopefully they should work here on my local machine. All right, look what it does. All right, so we can see that the processor that is running, of course, is running Bash because that's what I'm using. That's the shell that I'm using, and it's running Ruby, and it's running of course the excuse me, not PowerShell, the process tree. All right, and so Ruby's probably running. 'Cause I believe Metasploit is actually written in Ruby, so that's probably why we see this excuse me, we see this Ruby instance here on the process tree. Okay, so some other commands I could show. Let's say I want to see the processes that are running for all users and not just me. All right, so it's probably not going to return anything different, but let's see. Oh, actually, gate. All right, so it came back with a lot. So we can see everything that root is running. It's running quite a bit, all right? So just going to the top here so we can see what every column is. Scroll down. All right, so we can see over here all the way to the left is our user. Then we can see the process ID. And this is what I was trying to show originally as far as how much resources are being consumed. So it's going to show how much of the CPU is being consumed by the process, how much of the memory is being consumed, all right? And then we can also see when it was started, and then we can also see what commands are associated with whatever the process is. All right, so let's scroll down a little bit. So let's say that I wanted to display the information for a particular process. Let's say that process is, let's say I want to show um, um, to display just the information just for the MSF console, since we know that that's running. So I'm gonna say ps aux, then pipe grep msf console. All right, so we see everything, and I was right. So that Ruby instance, we could see that is associated with MSF console. All right, so basically, we're seeing all the different processes that are related to MSF console running. All right, so that's what PS aux and then pipe and then grep the name of the actual the actual process we want to see. We want to see everything that's associated with that that's running. That's how we get that these instances from the process tree. So let's say that I wanted to just display information for all processes running under a certain user. All right, so probably that list is going to be a lot similar to the first one that I was running. But again, these serve the purposes of, again, if we know what process, what if we understand, if we see this list and we are able to deduce, okay, what processes are associated with what piece of software or application, then we would be able to know, okay, these processes are associated with these with this application, and then we can figure out how, and that could give us again a potential attack vector or or a vector to be able to escalate privileges, pivot, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna say grep, and then I want to just say again. I just want to see what processes are associated with the root user. Again, it looks very similar to what the first list, except it's just going to list everything that's associated with my root user account here. That's being executed or ran. All right. So again, if let's say we wanted to know, maybe it wasn't very clear as far as the naming convention, what account may be an administrator account, or what the exact duties of a certain account are. Well, if we were to be able to enumerate those usernames and account names, we could then be able to plug it into a command like this, like the ps grep, and just see what processes are running under that user account. We may be able to get a better idea of what their role is within that network, and they may be an ideal candidate to be able then to take over that account, or to aim at that account for a particular deed, depending on what particular applications that account is responsible for running, or what they have running for that account. So again, all administrator accounts aren't going to always be clearly labeled administrator, but we see certain processes, high-end processes that require a certain level of privileges to run. We could be able to quickly deduce that that's more than likely that's some sort of administrator account, and that account more than likely has elevated privileges that which we can then use to elevate our privileges to gain the same type of level of access to the network, and be able to run even more commands on the system, to be able to gain more information or do whatever it is that we enter the system to do. All right, so let's say that let's see, I'm gonna say, try to do this real quick. All right, so what I did there is I took us out of the out of the Metasploit framework and just brought us back to my home directory here. So I'm gonna say top. All right, so what this is going to do, again, this is going to be able to view the processes as they're being executed and the resources that they're consuming. So when we look at this, we can't actively see the we just see basically like a snapshot. But by running top, we can actually be able to see, we should be able to see the consumption of certain resources in real time. All right, so we could see, so you see how this is moving? So we could see right now the resources that are being consumed. All right, so we see CPU and memory and several other components that are being utilized in real time. That's how we can see that. All right, so let's see, I'm do Control C to get out of that. All right, so let's say now, let's see now if we wanted to be able to see what was going on with the cron jobs on here. First, be able to see if there was any cron jobs, and then and try to see what it is that they do, what time they run, things like that. So I'm gonna say crontab -L for list. All right, and there doesn't appear to be any on here. Let's see, make sure this checking my syntax here. So yeah, it doesn't let me see. I'm gonna type in. Nope, that's the That's the right there. So it doesn't appear to be any cron jobs on the system, but if it was, it would show me a list of different cron jobs that are running on the system. Let me see. I could look further into that. And I'm gonna say list dash all, and then let's look in the Etsy cron folder. Let's see what's going on there. No, yeah, no, there doesn't appear to be any cron jobs on this machine. Let's see. Well, let's see if I'm gonna try one more thing here before throwing in the towel on it. See if I can cat it out. Nope, nothing. Okay, so but the series of commands I just ran here, if we want to see, we could there's three those are three different ways that we can see what's going on um um with the cron jobs or the scheduled tasks here on the machine. Again, I've done previous videos where I've shown how we can elevate our privileges um, by exploiting the certain cron jobs and certain files that they may call at a certain time, manipulating those files, which would then give us root access once those files are run during the time that they're supposed to run. All right, now I can't remember what episode that was, but if you search through my videos for any cron job, there should be specifically a cron job related video that's going to show you how that's done. But yeah, that brings me to the end of this video. Just want to show a few basic ways in which we can enumerate some commands, enumerate, excuse me, some processes and schedule tasks on a compromised host. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to run a lot of these commands target host. Ran as many as I could on my own. Ran into some issues here when running the cron tabs. There's no cron jobs listed on this on my virtual machine here. But basically we get the basic gist of how it works as far as the different ways that we will be able to see processes, whether it's a snapshot, whether it's in real time, whether we wanted to associate those processes with certain accounts, or whether we wanted to reduce certain processes with just certain applications. Again, the reason we want to do this is because again, these could be used as attack vectors, or they could be used as privilege escalation vectors, especially when we're talking about associating certain processes with certain accounts and being able to deduce what the role of that account is on a network, and then being able to targeting that account as far as trying to compromise it and to gain a higher level of access. But please like, share, subscribe. Most importantly, show your work. And until next time, take care of yourself. God bless. And again, as promised, next video, I'm going to be showing how we can automate all of these different details that I've been enumerating into one single process for time and efficiency. Take care.